Hope. Boom. Is this working? This button. I hit that button. I think we're good. All right. Still building. Lots to build. You can see on that shelf, I've got the Playburst crawler. Got Lord of Poxes. Got my Phytic Blight Hauler. In pretty good shape there. Now we're doing a bloat drone. This one is going to have the Blight launcher on it. It's going to maneuver around the field and basically tag stuff. I mean, it does a decent chunk of damage if you aim it at the right thing. But the point of this guy is definitely going to be add affliction to stuff kind of far away. And I think what I'm also going to do, I think I have one lying around still from way back in the day, but I think I'm going to put together the flesh mower part of this and break this poor guy. Break the arms off of this dude and just put the flesh mower on him. Gotta find out if it's possible. So my fiance and I have made decisions on what armies we'll be doing first. Drum roll, please. Just scooch this in a place where it's nice and easy. Just gonna do Blood Angels and Thousand Sons, and I'm gonna do Salamanders and Death Guard. That is an amazing list of awesome stuff. That's great. Yeah, I was gonna say it is good timing for Tank to have rolled in. I mean, it's nice in that you've got, two, solid loyalist Space Marine crews and two very not loyalist Space Marine crews. Those are gonna be fun. Hey, what's up, Badger? They're excellent paint schemes, and I mean, you think about it, it's actually like pretty good, interesting at least matchups to play against each other. That sounds great. You're gonna have a lot of fun. Congrats. Uh, Tank has some pretty amazing, really awesome sallies. I should probably. I don't think I've updated. Hey, Miati. I don't think I've updated the Discord link, but if you hop in there, if I could just cook one up. Lots of even just, frankly, most of what I use the Discord for is just be inspired by the people's pictures and stuff. Let's see. Advanced settings, 7 days. Blah. See if this works. Yeah, Tank, you've come a long way. Grots in the house. Wow, this place is just piled right in. People were like poised and ready. Jumped. I think I definitely need most help with, to be honest, is brushes. I think I got my color scheme down, but I wouldn't turn down some tutoring. Tutoring? Oh, you earned it, Tank. Your stuff's awesome. Do you mean like super just like run of the mill, like how do brush? see what I've got out here. This is a piece of craft board. Let's see. Shake the daylights out of your paint. Thin your paints a bit. Edge highlighting? Yeah, it's a pain. Actually, let me grab something lighter. Grab something painful. One thing that's I think is important is it's actually I don't do much of this, so like this is like a do as I say, not as I do. But that like works. You can actually just practice stuff. It's entirely okay to just like, you know what? I'm gonna do something that's not for realsies. Just practice. I just took some titanium white on here. Because it'll be super obvious. Brush. I'll probably throw them back in here. If you have decent or even not great brushes, I did throw everything back in here. That's an oil brush. There we go. There's a good guy. Edge highlighting. So you wet your brush. There's a million ways to actually practice stuff. So one of the things you can do that's pretty easy is practice with a base. So this is, this is a test model. This is literally like a model that's half put together. I've broken them apart a few times. Every once in a while, this guy gets dunked. What's up, Sharp? So it's got a bunch of different colors on them. But if I'm like really curious about what a paint's going to look like, or especially next to another paint, I'll throw it on there. But what you can do as far as practicing edge highlighting goes is you can actually just... Yeah, that'd be awesome. Is you could just work on getting close to the edge. It's just right on there. It's like the perfect edge to edge highlight. And the thing is, you don't want to stab at it with the tip. You're not drawing on the edge. You want to use the side of the brush. And a lot of it is just a matter of having like your pinky posted up somewhere, holding the thing the right way, and then just sort of scuffing up against it a little bit. And as you learn little by little to like keep your hands a little bit more steady, it gets easier. But you literally practice on just about anything. You can prime an empty sprue. This thing isn't primed, but like once you've gotten the hang of like doing it on a very consistent edge, like a base, you come in, thin your paints down a little bit. You can just sort of mess around with edge highlighting these, some of the different spots on the sprue that are just like different angles, because you got to sort of learn how to get your brush into different spots. These little nubbins on here that are circular, total pain in the butt. I'm not actually good at edge highlighting. I want to make that like super clear. And frankly, I don't do a ton of it. But if I was gonna, I'd probably get some practice. Yeah, absolutely. Like post your stuff. I routinely, frankly, this whole thing is kind of just like a racket for me to get to see other people's models. I get super inspired by other people's stuff. This is one of the parts of the hobby that is just like, to me, super cool. Now this isn't prime, so this is gonna like bubble up a little bit if it's not thick, but I think you get the point. Like, if you're concerned about edge highlighting, grab random bits and practice on it. And an empty sprue is like good because it's got just a bunch of different shapes of stuff sticking around on it. Like that, pretty terrible. Do it again. But a lot of it is just like posture and brush control and hitting with the side of the brush. Yeah, it's a scam to get pictures of everyone else's models, and I'm pretty clear about that. Very upfront exchange. There we go. Oh, look at this guy. Yeah, you got nothing to worry about, pal. Look at that. You got a steadier hand than I do. Dope. Nobody hates their own models more than me. Your stuff's awesome. I love your Poxwalkers. Look at that guy. That's pretty rad. Like, that is some pretty fine work. No, I didn't. I didn't forget about it. I have everything packed up. I popped open. What was the? Finally found that little window. It shows you all the stuff that you got floating around. I just have to get to the post office. I was hoping to be able to do that today during lunch, but I couldn't. But there's 2 mugs going out, piles of dice going out. I owe, let's see, I owe a couple postcards. So I am 1 post office trip away, finally, from getting that stuff out the door. It's been 7 months, I think. Mugged by combat. There's no Eula here. I've been a bad person. I actually took a couple of the offers down because we're running short on dice. And we're running short on mugs. And I got to like order more before I get into that biz again. A class action suit over Twitch channel points. That will cost you more to file. I think the unfortunate thing is Sector's like shared with me this thing that he won one Christmas and got it the next year. I'm not out of dice, but I don't have a ton left over. We're getting there. I know. It's going to be time. It's going to be time soon. I do have to figure out the new design of dice. So there may be a little bit of a waiting period. I sort of wonder if I should be dropping all that much money on dice when I have no job and I've been unemployed for a year, but you know, we'll see. Probably. Boop. Boop. Ah. You. We're back. Bam. There you go. On the table, no less. That's good stuff. You guys look so serious. I really shouldn't be the kind of person that likes Space Marines with shields, but they look pretty dope. I hope these guys cost more than a few points each. Kids can go to Votech, it's fine. Yeah, it's pretty darn sweet. Those are definitely worth being proud of. Delish. Thankfully, I do still contribute to my children's education. Strangely enough. All my kids are going to be tattoo artists. I mean, I do think it's true that we are kind, but like those models look sweet, man. I'd be proud of those. If there's one thing I've found, like, ooh, I should work for these guys. DSPIAE. Make them, can't remember what country they're from, but you buy these on Amazon. If you look up, however you pronounce it, DSPIAE, like modeling tools, there's a bunch of them. I have one, two, got a reciprocating sander too from them. I love their stuff. It's like really good quality stuff, and this thing for me is just like a lot easier, and because it's rotary, you actually like kind of polish this thing a little bit. It's a little different than going back and forth. But I'm just a little bit, with the exception of places I can't get in and reach. Yeah, it's tough. So Tank, like, it's interesting you say that, because people said the same thing. Like the first time I showed up, and I had been painting for like, I don't know, 6 or 7 months before I ever walked in a store and was like, how do I learn how to play? People thought I was like new guy coming into shark them. And I was like, no, I really have no flipping clue how to play this game. But I've found, like, over time, that a lot of what makes a model look good, and I'm not saying that like it's just effort, but if you put time into the thing, it starts getting character. Like when you put time into it, there's enough steps that you've done where if you are a person who paints and you look at that model, you start to see you start to see what the person did as part of their process, and then it starts getting really, really interesting. And I think there's sort of like part of the reason I like what you're doing is like you're showing a lot of technique in it. And that's not to say that like you and everyone else here couldn't be better at some techniques, but you're doing enough different things with your models and how you paint them that it's like, huh. Stop responding to compliments with what I did wrong. Yeah, that's a hard part, and that is hard for some people just in general. Like some people can't take a compliment. And I don't mean that in a bad way. But like people that paint will, so one, remember that these models are freaking tiny and it's crazy to paint these things at all. It's insane. But two, once you start painting and like really getting into it, someone else who paints is going to see what you did, and like unless they're a total chimp, they're going to really think about like, huh, that must have taken this much effort. Oh, I could see what you were going for here. And like everybody's on a journey. The more you do with your models, the more there's something to think about from someone else taking a peek at it. And that in and of itself like builds some degree of simpatico. Man, this thing's hard to hold. So many spikes. The brain weasels. And it's funny because you can absolutely recognize it, and it still just is what it is. Like, I'm not that kind of person, but I know plenty of people who are. Plenty of people. And I got my own BS. Don't worry. I ain't perfect by any stretch. By any long stretch. And there's nothing wrong with being that way. But you do have to recognize that it's not a... You are probably the worst person to critique your own stuff. Some people... There are a few exceptions out there, but like for the most part, I don't worry about much about what I think of my own stuff. I love my models the way that I paint them. And they're very personal and they're very mine, but like, it's good to be able to take a compliment. It's a personality thing probably worth working on. But always remember that like 9 out of 10 people that you're showing these models to, like in a store or whatever, they suffer through the same BS you do trying to make these things look good. Like other people that paint know what you're going through. Try to get it to look like the thing you want it to look like. That speaks a lot. Hope this thing fits back together. But still, there's nothing wrong with being you. You don't have to believe the feedback if it's positive, but there is value in, at the very least, shutting up. Even if you don't believe it, you don't want to like tune it out. Like, you be you, but don't be dismissive, because there's often like a lot of important info in there. What's up, Geibel? Wise words from a wise man. Yeah, I don't know. Wisdom's probably one of my better stats. You just have to constantly think about how easy it is to shit on your own work. And how, like, irrational it can be. There's nothing wrong with being, like, uncompromising with yourself. Like, I have a lot of very good friends who just, like, all right, like, my goal with this is to just, like, go ham, and never settle. I think that's fantastic. I think the most important thing is, however you're wired, just make sure you actually listen to what folks say. You don't have to internalize it, but you don't want to get into how is it put? Yeah, you don't want the brain weasels to get so loud that you actually miss the feedback. But make no mistake, this is like a ridiculously difficult thing to do. Like my first game of my AOS Grow League is a Grow League where you add more stuff to your army over time. So many people had to compliment my Chaos Knights. Yeah, with good reason. It's important to take a W every once in a while. Absolutely. So just bear in mind that the chuck on this thing, this little section in the middle, this thing right here, actually the bit on this are not the ones that come with this. Added this chuck, which is a Dremel chuck. Let me see if I can very quickly. A link is worth 1,000 words. There's a new Chaos Knight coming too, so GSPIAE. E tools. You are looking for. Oh, I hope it's still on here. Yeah. Portable electric sanding. Blah 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 blah. There it is. $30. And this bit that's on here is not that bad. It's just a little aggressive. I might go back to it at some point. You just need a really soft hand if you can like roll with that thing right out the gate. Why do you keep escalating things, Grot? Oh, that's actually cool. Now that I think about it, like the overtime of like when Bellacore, it's like pro wrestling when he gets to come out of the cage, not like cage match cage, but a Royal Rumble. Digimon, ask as many questions as you want, baby. We're working slow. We're having a good time. The bit that it comes with, I had this is a Dremel bit that I got. This I like this one, and this Chuck is a Dremel one. The bit that comes with this is very usable. You just need like a pretty darn soft touch with it, but it absolutely works. I put this one on here because I'm lazy and I don't want to change the bit. And this one is like, from a lot of metalworking stuff, I'm just more used to this shape of bit. It's just more comfy for me. These things go in the snoot? No, they don't go in the snoot. They do go in the snoot. I can't tell. No, they don't go in the snoot. What is up with this? How do you figure? Those little tank things would go in those holes. That makes a little more sense now. Not sure how I feel about this in its entirety, but I might just have to hold it like this a little bit. Ugh. I'm gonna grab 44 and 45. Get enough mayhem and slaughter to summon the big boss. That is a good solid. Once again, like a good pro wrestling sort of thing of like, all right, round 3 coming out of the booth. Oh, 45, you're a tiny little bit. Where you at, buddy? I gotta tell you that Myphitic Blight Hauler, as long as you remember to just nip off all the posts on it, because it's push fit, that thing is a sweet build. Can't find the other plug. Oh, there it is. I was hiding. If you leave the posts on it, it's a pain in the butt. Yeah, build-up just makes it more fun. It's for reals. Oh, here comes the Undertaker. Now, you do have to be a little careful when you're using powered tools. Like, I can't hurt myself with this. I mean, if I grabbed it physically on the end there, the friction would eventually hurt. But you can if you're not holding bits strongly in your hands. I have sent little tiny pieces of plastic across the room, never to be seen again. That's like the one major be careful thing about it. Bellicor is a crazy model. Super crazy model. Dude is wild. All right, so these rotate in here however you see fit. How I see fit is becoming a little bit concerning. I didn't accidentally grab like two pieces that looked like they were correct and weren't. Show me the other side, fool. I guess it works. I guess. Let's just do it. Actually gonna sprue glue this thing in here. It's like recessed enough with a sort of weird shape. We might as well just get some mass in there first. Then we can worry a little bit more about capillary action later. There we go. A little bit of pressure. Little bit of pressure. All right. Apparently that was the way to do it. Now I can get all the extra little fine areas to bond a wee bit. Just tapping a little on there. Stuff is thin enough. It'll just sneak in there. Get that bit from. Did I get that bit from? Good question. Let me see if my friend Jeffrey Bezos remembers where I got this bit from. That may be too far assembling your Father's Day gift. That's a smart idea. I don't think I have a link to that bit anymore. But that is the chuck. This piece, if you end up needing that. The Charles. All right, once again, I think I am going to sprue goo using there because a lot of big vacant hole. There we go. That's a little awkward. If there goes one. I get him. I did get him. Good. A little elusive. This one's going to be a little bit of a pain, but oh, yeah, we got it. Yeah, gentle. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. I think I found it. What's funny is like it being me. Yeah, this is it. Of course, I would type the same thing. I'm nearly certain that I actually like recognize the picture from that. Nice, Badger. I'm pretty quick on the Amazon draw. I think Jeff knows enough about me at this point that he autofills. Yeah, no sweat, man. I love talking about Bits and toys. That's a big part of the hobby for me. As a rampant consumer. Let's see, where was I? I got that, I got that. That's a big floaty guy. Yeah, alright. It says no glue, which I think is BS. Don't glue that. Glue that. Weird. What do they mean don't glue it? Let's cut these things out and find out. Clicked on the wrong Discord name at first. Does it matter who's who? 9 is on top. 9, 9, 9. When is Father's Day? That's the big question. I never remembered. It's so like spent so many years not being a father that like just set an alarm, calendar alarm, make sure I call my dad. It still doesn't really sink in my head that I qualify. All right, this really stinks. These, all of these spots, well, that's what the twig is for. Finally comes down to it. All these are just mold connections that sit happily between spikes. What happened here? What happened where? I don't feel worried. It's just that these, all the places that this connects to the to the sprue are all in between these spikes. It's just like, ugh. It's not like problematic. It just takes a lot of extra oomph. And it hurts a little bit because spikes everywhere. Red Dot 40. Oh, that, like Doom Medieval. That was pretty cool. Good to see you, Jim. Spikes out in front. This one has a diamond on it. Make sure you put the right one in the right place. Nah, it's still not good for the oscillating tool. The reciprocating sander. Yeah, the Dark Ages, that's right. I tried that. The problem is there's also little nubbins in there that you don't want to sand, and like, It's all good. It's a tough spot. You lock in, which is good. I like Doom. don't pick up every last one of them, because much as I enjoy them, as much as like each one innovates a bit, they are kind of similar. Most sort of adventure shooters, I tend not to pick up every last one of them. I'll wait till one gets really well reviewed, or if it's just been a while and I got a hankering for it. Like the same is true of just like shooters like Call of Duty and stuff like that. Um, is that that would be pretty wild if Bethesda and Games Workshop partnered up. Oh, I gotta pick a faceplate too. I mean, Bethesda does a very good job with big IPs. Speaking of Bethesda, though they may not get my money with Dark Ages anytime soon, I really have enjoyed the Oblivion remaster. Very good, nostalgic feels all around. Right now, my vampire dude is like, who's not a wizard by any stretch, is trying to get into the College of Magic, and it's a little weird. One of my engineers runs into my office today, shock on his face, and his laptop with a huge screen capture. He was interviewing this guy, and the technical bit asked him to share his screen. Shared the wrong screen. Oh. Oh, ho, ho, ho. One with Chat GPT and our interview questions typed into it. Woof. Woof. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, staff engineer. Yeah, it's here's the thing, like I think what this elevates is that like how do you not have enough confidence in your ability at that level where you're like where you think going to chat gpt is a good idea. Take it easy, Miyagi. And Grot Fallout 4 is a I was like maybe I won't pick up Oblivion, maybe I'll just like fire up Fallout 4 again. Ugh. Oh yeah, the update broke every mod. That sucks. There was a pretty decent like city building mod that was out there. It did all this like crazy building all these little booths and there were shops and people growing crap. It was wild. That does suck, Sector X. Yeah, Sim Settlements. That was it. I had a pretty good like little plot arc to get into it. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, like people trying to like get AI to answer questions is that some of it is entirely in response to, and I'm not saying across the board, but like some places just got so insistent on like the leet code standard of test, which tells you nothing um, about the person and the problem solving ability, as has been proved out by folks who just get around it. Yeah, yeah, it is Christmas. Yeah, I've been plugged in for a long time today. Eyes are all dried out. It's been a good day. Yeah, I was on my other stream earlier. Good point. I hadn't even thought about that. It's probably because I took a nap. I mean, the remaster does look pretty dope in a lot of ways, and I think is worth it. Um, it's like it looks like you remember it, which is inaccurate because it looks way better than it used to. Like the original one didn't look like PS1 Hagrid, but like you remember you smooth all the edges in your mind. So going back and playing it was like, all right, this feels good. Me when I always say please and thank you to the AI, so it A wastes a lot more money for the companies running the AI, and B so it revolts I may be spared. I know, right? I just think it's appropriate to say please and thank you to whoever. That sucks, Sector. It's like to see that firsthand is just like, ugh. And I'm not anti coding tests, but the general like broadly pushed by Meta, Google, large company regime, like the attacking it with AI just kind of proved the point that it was like silly. But a staff engineer, ugh, loss. That's where that goes. Goes here. Goes here. Why did they say with no glue? So bizarre. Get it in the camera shot. I'll get the other one out first. That one was 8, so this one is 9. 9. It's a big spikes on top. Or no, this one's 7. Yeah, we're gluing it in. Are you playing on Xbox Game Pass? Now I actually don't presently have a single console hooked up in this house. And truth be told, like I'm a PC nerd. I do play stuff on console from time to time, but for the most part, I'm a mouse and keyboard person. That's how they get you. Oh, there's a PC Game Pass too. All right, well, nah, I just bought it. I was cool with it. I I don't do a lot of Game Pass type services, even though they're economically very sound. I sort of have this weird principle, like I'm just gonna I'm gonna buy it and commit. Somebody gets the money directly, indirectly. Oh, it's sound. It's smart. I think you're. I think you win this one for sure. Um, that's got weird stuff around it. Weird stuff around shopping for games, at least. It makes very sound sense. And I saw like a pretty interesting post on. I think it was at LinkedIn of all places, where they're like, "Here's what you could be playing right now in the past," and it was like a fine offering, a fine splaying out of grillions of games. The old Citadel tool, the classic. It's a good tool, Sectrix. It's not sharp. And that curve on there, solid. I am a good tool. Thanks, buddy. It's dude. It's a. I wouldn't call it quite knee slapper territory, but that's a good solid. Near flippant, but not too bad response. No, that's absolutely true. It is a license. More than anything else. Come on, buddy. Stick nice. Let you sit. Ponder what you've done. Contemplate that on the tree of woe. Set it back here. All right, the next thing I gotta do is pick the shell for it. And I think I'm going to go with the pink one on here, which has like the visor, sinister looking visor, and the pretty solid looking tri-skull symbol on the front. I think that's cool. Now that I see you hold it, it's way smaller than I thought it is. Zing. Oh, you're absolutely right. The disc is a glorified digital copy, but at the same time, like a lot of that is legal mumbo jumbo to like try to protect themselves in certain ways that are somewhat actually important, but doesn't always go in the big company's favor, even though they try to tell you that you're just buying a license for something. I have unfortunate news that like gamers allow this. I mean, it was a big debate. DRM was a big deal. Not a lot of people. I mean, plenty of people, but it's not like everyone rose up. People wanted Napster. Games went along with the ride. I mean, that's an oversimplification, but it is kind of true. That is one solid piece, which is dope. 11 and 12. Oh, so I get more spikes. All right. Get down with that. I haven't lost enough blood. The horse armor, that's true. That horse armor, I don't know that, like, it was the first biggest one that mattered, and it was very much an innovation. What year did it come out? 2006? Yeah, it's, like, way ahead of its time. It's a good point. It's a very good point. Oh, I just got out 12, yeah. Where the hell am I? It was a big deal. I forgot about that. That is a very important part of history. But at the same time, what I routinely think about is like, how has my experience changed? And it's like, I own the games I own, and yeah, like, well, what if this company just decided they don't want you to own their game anymore? It's like, well, they'll get sued and I won't own it anymore, whatever. But like, generally speaking, the half life of, pardon the pun, of a game that I play isn't like forever. Like, I would not go back and play Oblivion with any great vigor if it didn't have a remaster. And I do believe like very strongly in like ownership rights and whatever. Like I went back and played Daggerfall a while back, like this last year, and it was appalling to play through. Like it was finally old enough where it's like, nope, no way. Bethesda used to have done DLCs justice with Fallout 3. New Vegas wasn't DLC. Total Annihilation, yeah. New Vegas is a separate SKU. Totally separate SKU. Oh, New Vegas did have, yes, New Vegas had very good DLC. I see your point now. I was just misreading it. Thought for a second you were like, New Vegas was just DLC. But I get you now. I don't know. Like, I'm a pretty big fan of Bethesda. Any game where I've got like 500 hours in something, I don't really complain about DLC for. April Fool's Oblivion Riding Crab DLC. Yeah. I mean, it's the business model has changed pretty dramatically, and it's not entirely because companies just innovated. Like, most of that is driven by consumers, even inadvertently. Um, like, people are like, oh my God, games are going to cost $80 a piece. And it's like, well, they should cost $80 a piece just based on inflation from like what they used to cost. People balked at that for so very long, and someone figured out, well, hey, if I do microtransactions, like not only I've never met Todd Howard. I would love to meet that dude. Um, not only will people pay $80 if you package it smaller, it's about the law of averages. It's not that everyone drops $80 on a game. The point is that someone will drop 200, someone will drop 40, but two people won't drop 80 on a game. And it's like, well, yep. And it's about time. Like I don't think every game should be $80, but I routinely do the like, well, how much entertainment does $80 get me? I gotta tell you, video games are pretty. Yeah, and so like when I worked on Lord of the Rings Online, like part of what I was doing was working on the conversion of it to like a hybrid model of being subscription but also free to play. So subscription got you bonus stuff. It goes like this. I think no. It goes like this. It does. But there was a whole microtransaction store, and the simple fact was that as income disparity gets further and further, some people have no problem spending a lot of money on a game, and to me, that is that that person is paying for someone else to often play for free. Final Fantasy 3 for the Super Nintendo was 90 when it came out. Didn't have like they had some argument for why it was the case, and I don't remember what it was. Regardless of if it was valid, but they definitely had. There was some marketing schmumbo jumbo. So like I play right now. My main mobile game is believe it or not, Tacticus. Uh, and like I do spend money. I spend almost nothing on it these days, but like I spend a decent chunk of change on it. The guild I'm in has people that spend nothing and people that spend money. Everybody has a good time, but I know that I'm paying. I know that I'm paying essentially the bill for someone who doesn't pay. I don't really have a problem with that. Like I have a lot more had a lot more money than time. But I'm very like sensitive to like what kind of progression you can make spending money versus not. Some people go to the library instead. I am deeply disappointed at how few people go to the library with how much stuff is just chilling there. Chilling. The video game section of my library to play console stuff is like fantastic. It's not massive, but like you just take the game out and play it. It's like free Blockbuster. And God forbid you like books. Combination factor playing high cost of game cartridges during. I think it was a thing with memory modules. I think that is. I think that's the thing that at least I'm thinking of. This plate seamlessly goes on there, so we're good. I think it was like, oh, Blizzard was absolutely making a killing, but they also they got way out in front in terms of quality. Like there was for a while no reason to sanely avoid buying a Blizzard game because it was going to be the best game that was out, provided like you tolerated, like you even remotely liked the genres. It was going to be the best thing you could get your hands on. And like even if you weren't an RTS person, like you really should just have StarCraft. Like you just should. All right, gently going to give this a little bit more of a push. Oof, a little pressure. Oh, and God forbid when you get into WoW territory, it's WoW. It just printed money. I mean, they wholesale just went into like the MMO territory that EverQuest had a pretty solid lock on. There were other companies like getting involved, but not like really like there wasn't a clear breakout after EverQuest, and then like WoW came out, and it was like everyone forgot anything else existed. It was a great time to play games and play WoW. I loved it. WoW was in beta when I was in college the second time, learning to make video games, and there were people in what would have been my graduating class. Now this was like a tech school that like new classes started up like every 2 months. But of the people that I started with, I think at least 5 or 6 dropped out because they're just playing too much WoW in beta. It's wild. Yeah. So regarding libraries, like my 14-year-old's in like D&D group and has been for a few years. Like started in COVID. Um, there's a dungeon master that runs youth D&D, which I think is crazy awesome, and which was absolutely in my era not a possibility. Yeah. So StarCraft, the reason Space Marines and Tyranids, I mean Zerg, um, and Protoss Eldari, um, they had a contract and Games Workshop backed out, and so what Blizzard did was like pull a little bit away from the IP, change some of the art and a lot of the nomenclature, and just move forward. Um, yep, it was supposed to be. I mean, they're Space Marines. That's what they're called. Warhawk. This is a bloat drone. Yep. How can I orcify this? How can you orc bash it? Um, a lot of cool things you could do. I think you'd probably want to put wheels on the bottom of it just for laughs, because like it just like levitates. But man, I think wheels on the bottom of this, like two wheels, would be fantastic. Um, take these spikes out, put like some sort of grot throne on it with a steering wheel. I think you'd be going in the good direction that way. Yeah, that's right. Warcraft was a Warhammer project too, and it didn't get the licenses. Um, so like plenty of stuff. I don't want to say everything's derivative, but the way Warcraft orcs look is the way Warhammer orcs look, and it's not like there was a lot of depictions that were like that. Do I think it would have been as successful or more successful if GW never backed out? Uh, I mean, obviously, like speculative fiction, but I think Warhammer would have been more popular. What I can say, having worked with large IPs, is that the fact that they broke Dawn of War did great, but it did not do Blizzard great. Um, Working with large IPs is a double edged sword, because there is a lot, even if they're very reasonable, there's a lot of design boundaries you have to stay inside, and I think given what Blizzard did, they might not have been able to refine either Warcraft or Starcraft as much as they did if they were still working with an external IP holder. It's just like you actually just get less time to work because there's a lot of like check boxes you got to fill in. So even if you just think about like how much effort goes towards the game being fun versus the game being IP appropriate, there's just overhead there. But Dawn of War is fantastic. But it was more niche in the same way that Warhammer has, and still is to a lesser extent, been niche like throughout its entire existence. That doesn't mean that it hasn't erupted into like a $3 billion company, but relatively speaking, um, its D&D channels are still bigger than Warhammer channels, as far as I know. And I think that's the whole point of like Amazoning it up, um, and having a series is to like try to break that mold a little bit. We'll see. I kind of nicked that a little bit. Gonna be all right, buddy. Yeah, you'll be fine. You hang in there, piece of plastic. New computer day. That is a grand day. Nothing quite hits like new computer day. Is that work new computer day or home new computer day? I have a buddy that works for Supercell. I actually posted a bug on Crufts because his screen was so freaking wide, the game couldn't cope with it. Um, I'm a little tempted to get a ultra mega super wide, just because of all the DB work I do. Having that whole sheet open be dope. Oh yeah, no, I definitely. My distinction was is everybody at work getting new computers, but yeah, no, your work life balance is you need a good enough computer at home to do work. 49 versus 57 and 1800 R versus 1000. What is the R? Is that the actual amount of bendo in it? I don't know what mine is. It's probably it's the radius. All right. Hmm. Fun stuff. I do love having a curved monitor, and mine is not anywhere near the craziness you're describing, but it does help a ton. I can use the measurement I created in university to F with my schoolmate that copy work for me all the time. I created micro radian per ms. And he put it in paper. That's pretty funny. You're creating memes, meme bombs. 30, 31, 32. When I get this guy finished, all I'm going to have is infantry left. I will say it is so much easier to build any model when you. It's obvious, Captain Obvious, but so much easier to build a model if you've done it once before. Like, painfully more sane the second time. 531. All the little tricks and gimmicks make building any model a little weird. Like for a second, I was like, do I really need to pull all the pins? Not pins, all the posts from this blight hauler. And as soon as I clipped one of them and I put it together, I was like, wow, this model is like very, very, I feel like push fit models are probably the best models. Because I'm imagining they go through better QA because they have to push fit somewhat. Because when you pull the push fit posts out, everything just like on this thing fits like butter. Like butter. DG seems forgiving. Not that I would let it happen, but forget clip a nib and it's rust. Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, and that arguably goes. There's certain ones where it's like you gotta go and fix it. There's absolutely some that look like a piece, like a spike coming out of something. Absolutely, some nibs where you're just like, all right, I'll just hit that with some bone and call it a day. I feel like the quality of the actual build is higher. And there's no reason why you couldn't like I guess what I'm saying is if they had nothing but modular models but they were QA'd as well and constructed as well as the push fits, then it would be a win. I'm actually being like kind of critical of like the models at large because what it tells me is there's no reason why some models should be kind of cruddy. It just feels to me like they put the actual effort in the consistency of the push fit ones. But like here's my point. Like just as easily this thing could be tricked out with different weapons. Like these are super easy things to swap out. No problem. Even if it stayed push fit. I'm not saying it should be push fit, but the whole rest of this model was just like, whoop, everything fits perfect. And then these just literally slide in that way. They're like sane. Maybe the other part of it is that push fit models they can't have any BS steps. Yeah, this model, yeah, like they can't have any of those dumb steps where like in this model, if you choose to build the face with the teeth, the front plate like this is split in half. Like the only way to get that to work with push fit is if it's exact and has an overlap that makes sense. Whereas if it's not push fit, they're like, fuck it, good luck. I think that's part of it, is that and truth be told, I don't actually mind a lot of the BS steps. Like the struggle being real to put the model together is kind of cool. But every single piece in this thing, like, logically fit based on the seams that were going to attach to each other. And there was nothing where I had to sort of like put a finger or a clip under something and hold it for like 10 minutes praying. Are there any push fit admech? I doubt it. Or if there are, probably very minuscule amount. Or it's like cast known robots. Like all I remember from the few admech that I put together is everything was just finicky. I'm not sure that you could do AdMech as a push fit. It wouldn't look like AdMech anymore. Yeah. I like the Thousand Suns robots. I totally respect folks that are like, yeah, not my Thousand Sons robot. Like, I think they're neat. Oh, I had it upside down. Um, I think they're cute little robots. But I am so on board. Does this thing want to fit? I am so on board with that new Chaos Knight. I love that build. I already have two. Oh, the Combat Patrol doesn't. The Combat Patrol doesn't have the robots. It's a battle force, right? The Combat Patrol is. Isn't that the one that's like very much a mirror of the World Eaters one? It's like you get a Demon Prince, Sans wings. They are pushing them hard, man. Like, what? I didn't check any of the other, well, I guess it would just be World Eaters. Well, no. The Emperor's Chitlins have a codex out. But the Death Guard one's pretty good at this point. I did not. I do have everything finally stacked up and ready to go. I already 2 postcards. I've written 2 of them. Hopefully I can get out tomorrow to get to the post office. All I have to do is basically just show up and pay for the things to get shipped at this point. I wish they had a different tank. You mean instead of like the Predator? That's because these fit like this. I feel like they could use a new tank. I do love the Plague Burst Crawler, but it is very much a mobile mortar thing. Yeah, Rhino doesn't fit. It's that's why everyone just makes like super kit bash modded out ones that look like sphincters. Because the box it's just, yeah, bits you showed me that those are actually cool. Like that was refreshing to see what bonus bits could do. The stuff that went on the top of it like looked like really really cool. Still though, like I feel like it is too boxy. Um, all the other Demon Engine vehicles from Death Guard use this kind of like curvature on them in some place. Even the Plague Burst Crawler, the front face has that sort of like, I don't know, like rounded chevron, whatever that is. I can't remember what it's called, but it's a triangle when all the edges are bowed. This guy's got it. This guy's got it in spades. That whole like rounded corner thing, and then the Rhino's just like, yo, dog. There's nothing demon engine-y about it. Which, like, I get it doesn't have to be, but it feels like a little bit of a whiff. To me. You should need a lot of demon princes. Every character in your army could become one in 6th and 7th. Sergeant of the squad. That's a little insane. This goes like this. So this goes over top like this. Leader of the cultist. Ah! Let's have a brief demonic conversion. This piece is not fucking cool. Ah, it's getting there. Let's see if I can just get this to work from the outside in. Not too much glue, not that much glue. All right, and now I gotta get the almighty ammo drum going. And this guy's pretty close, like precariously close. Super duper close. One of those, one of those. Oh, snap. Here we go. Welcome, 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 Raiders. Faye, how you doing, buddy? Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome aboard. We're just building this Death Guard box. Hey, gel tip, that was pretty nice of you. Thank you. It's a choo-choo raid train. I'm good. I'm in my element. I'm in my lane. Building a bunch of Death Guard stuff. I got the Poxwrought. No. Poxwrought. Poxwrought vector box. So I have all kinds of crap I gotta build. It's a good time to be a Death Guard fan. I could type it myself. Hopefully it works. Maybe not Few Story. Hopefully this works, even though I'm riding a line between Twitch and YouTube right now. My thoughts are that it's dope. I'm definitely gonna get it. It'll be the third night that you tell I've developed a mod reflex. Indeed. It'll be the third night that I have with that chassis. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but man, that power drill on that thing and the little mini rockets that I mentioned earlier today. My first take was like, I get mini rockets and I don't have to do Tau. I'm sold. I like the fact that the new Loyalist Knight has like a big shield thing, and the Chaos Knight has a drill. As my man Moth pointed out, like there's good dichotomy there. It's a really fun build. And so having one more of them. That faceplate was already around. Believe it or not, I never used it. That faceplate already in the box. I shouldn't say that. I might have actually, I don't think. I gotta go back and check. Might be so covered in blood on my corn one that that it's just not noticeable. I doubt it. But that like wood bone looking faceplate, it's totally in the box already. Like the pre-existing. There's so many bits in that box that are just fantastic. Like how do you choose a faceplate that isn't that? It's like it's gonna look good, and I think there's just like a grillion ways to just paint it and make it look awesome. So a profound yes on the new Knight. I don't know how soon I'll be able to get it from when it comes out, but it looks dope. Anyone with a Champion of Chaos rule, when they won a challenge and killed an enemy character, they got to roll D66 on the Chaos Boon table. Oh, Spawn Hood. Ha! Turn into a Demon Prince. That's wild. I frankly think, like, generally speaking, like all big boy or many big boy knights often is like not a super competitive build because you have so little table coverage. But I am genuinely a little boggled why a lot of armies don't just take one large knight with them. Like, don't have enough shooting, take a knight. Don't have enough a big melee threat, take a knight. Like, I have too many foot soldiers and nothing big that can soak anything, take a knight. But yeah, I hope they work that out. I mean, they started messing with it a little bit with I think it was the Christmas detachment. I think that was the one where it was like, hey, you gobble up all the little cultists at your feet for power, make it work. But obviously that's like mixed bag army. Give this a squeeze. I don't care how viable it is. Like taking 4 big knights and an armiger is crazy fun. There's also, I mean, and it's not unwarranted, but there's also like a bit of a like, hey, all the large knights have an ability that affects armigers, war dogs. And so like you're sort of wasting it if you don't take that. But I gotta tell you, like bringing down 4 knights is freaking hard. Getting around them, not that hard. I do love knights. Stompy boys make me very happy. There you go. It does seem kind of weird to me, Auditor, that you'd have to have like a sideboard of models for just in case moments. That sounds like neat, but a lot to ask. Oh, it's because on the other side, you bum. Why don't you fit right? You don't fit. it's gonna be a pain in the butt. I can tell. It's one of those like get one side to fit the right way and then hope they meet in the middle. All right, let's do it. Spinny, spinny. Where does this big tube thread under? Does it go all the way? No, it doesn't. Ugh. There's like a little click. Plague Marines are much more individually interesting. You don't have to start. You just chill, man. You did do a marathon, like make no mistake. Paint a couple tile. Paint some clean lines. You don't know nobody nothing, Sectrix. I mean, I guess that's good for the sideboard of demons, is like good for the business somewhat? Seems a little crazy. I had the Death Guard box for a few months since the girl wanted it, and the Poxwalkers was the whole back. Yeah, I mean, it is a very big ask. A lot of models, man. Hope these things match up. I just don't think Zangors have personality. I mean, sue me, but there's nothing like fun, interesting to me about Zangors. Oh, the Bezos bucks. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Ooh. This I gotta hold like this for a little bit. I think you make a good point. Like 30 Poxwalkers. I mean, you do get a lot of models. Like you get a shelf full of stuff, but 30 Poxwalkers is like woof in terms of your first go at it. All right, how exactly do you want to do this? Everybody just needs to chill out, stay bonded. Is what real? What are we discussing? Am I missing something? I have no idea what you guys are rambling about. I can't read the year under the Games Workshop logo. The brain weasels got them. All right. True story. True story, Lehman. A whole chunk I forgot to clip off now. Yeah. It's precariously glued. Of course, at this point, I should glue this thing down to a base. Hold it like this for a little bit. The spruce says 2017. That's what you're looking for? Ah, so you're discussing something completely different and just being cryptic about it. Is it at least tasteful? Is it like the high quality stuff or the lowbrow stuff? Should I base this thing? Feet is feet. Teeth is teeth. What I will do, though, is I am going to put together the mower while I'm here. Which do I prefer? It depends on the day, man. Depends on the day. There's a time and a season for all things, quote unquote, under heaven. Which one was that? That was 21, and I need, thankfully, 22. Boop, 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 boop. Shoulder pad's good. Man, that's wild. So good. So good. I mean, I guess if you want shells to carry them off, rounds carry them off, like round shoulder pads are the way to go. It's got like a weird, almost Frank Herbert aesthetic to it. That shot was just an image that was sent to me. I have no real context for it. Is that what that is? Yeah. It's crazy aesthetic. Like 1970s vision of the future. All right, you guys in theory are just going to fit together perfectly in one shot, right? Right. Right. I'll take it. Press, press, press. Now I need 19. That out and fix it. You do not have to get the thing off the sprue perfectly in one shot. Sometimes it just makes sense to take a little chunk, sprue with it, just to get a better angle later. Alright, how the heck do you fit in here? Just like heaven. Yep, that works. That extra droplet off of there. There we go. Little press. Looks good. Other arm. And at least I'll have this lawnmower arm set up when I decide to rip the arms off of that other guy. I really do need one of each of these, and I have 3 now, so one of them's getting retconned into a flesh mower. And I think the beat up rusty one is just the one to accept the honor. There we go. There we go. Still like a little nubbin on there. There we go. Big nubbin in here. It's like when you hear the RPMs go down, you know it's just like shredding plastic. I'm still kind of surprised, and I understand like part of it is the rule set that Horus Heresy is like a legit thing, and I only say that it's not any disrespect to it whatsoever, and that I never see it locally, except on the shelves. And I've never walked into a store and seen people playing a Horus Heresy game. I've never. Obviously, it's like some of this is self-selection when you look at stuff. You like look at stuff that you care about more. I've never seen like a tournament happening or whatever. Maybe I'm just avoiding it subconsciously. It always seems to me like I go in the store and half the shelves are Horus Heresy. The actual activity is not. I wonder if that's just kind of like a local thing. Like the stores wouldn't stock it if it wasn't getting played. Yeah, it's kind of weird, and obviously there's a lot of localized difference. The local meta everywhere. See people building it on Hobby Night, but they use it in standard 40k and Oldhammer. Yeah, interesting. I mean, it makes sense. There's a lot of freaking dope models. I got a little cleanup to do here. I think I'm probably pretty close to bowing out for the evening. It was a school night. And I've spent an inordinate amount of time streaming today. It's almost 3 hours in before showing up tonight. The brain tires. Let's get this mower blade together. Before I completely get bleary. No rest only work. Yeah, but if I wake up at a decent hour tomorrow, I can actually get to the post office too without rushing. It seems like such an easy task, and yet it's very hard for me to get out of this house. Unless the stars align. But I'll do it. All right, 1, 2, buckle my proverbial shoe. That's not how those blades go at all, buddy. I do need to make sure these things get fit together correctly. A little awkward. Awkward. That looks correct. That looks correct. Other side should look correct. Doesn't look that correct. Check myself before I wreck myself. Nope. Shouldn't be a nubbin on each side. Oh yeah, there should be a nubbin on each side. That's the issue. I think order of operations matters on this. I think ignoring the instructions is a terrible idea. Oh, and there's a huge chunk sticking in there, which is probably why it doesn't fit right. There we go. Zoip! That fits correct. Fit correctly. Past tense. Triumvirate. But the directions say don't do all three at once. That seems silly. If you hold them together the right way, shouldn't it feel right? And I think I do have to just do 2 pieces of this and then the third. Question is, which 2 pieces do they recommend? These feel pretty good. All right. 2 up. I have put together so many 1,000, 1,500 point, 2,000 point armies in this stupid app in like the last 48 hours. It's pretty sad. Chomping at the bit. I just found out Badger is insane. Ask me how I know. I won't say, but you can ask. Well, how did it take you this long to find out? That's the real question. Some of us have always known. But I have lots of models to build and paint. Indeed. You may call me crazy, but I have the stuff that gives the good brain feels. All right, let's get this flesh mower cooking. The most mediocre glue on there. Drop, 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 drip, dribble, drop, drop, drop. I can just get this piece to stay in here. I know I shouldn't have said that out loud. Come on, buddy. Come on. Come on. You know you want to fit. Oh, and it's so hard because it's a lawnmower. Ugh. Erg. Oh man, it really doesn't want to fit. What is up with you, buddy? What is your deal? It's like genuinely concerning because there's absolutely a very normal way it should fit, and it is just not having it. Does that mean that these two pieces are wrong? Am I the asshole? Does this even work this way? It doesn't. Doesn't. Oh, this one could go this way. It could. It could flip and then fit perfectly. Oh, Eureka. Scariness goes away. Clouds part. Still got to apply super weird pressure to this, but I have a feeling I'm going to be putting some freaking putty all over this thing just to get these seams to seal up, but I just had one piece backwards. That's all I had. All right, pressure on the blades. Oh gosh, that feels lovely. Like no legit way to like elastic band it. Unless you know an elastic band it. All right. I think that's enough. I've had it. It's almost 11:30. I'm bleary. It's been fun. This guy is done. I'm probably going to slap him on a base just to make him a little easier to paint. But this is the Kathunk version. I will convert one of my splort versions to a reed version sometime soon. Let's get that put together and can slap it on there. It's been cool. We have all of our vehicles assembled. All that's left is Blighties and Plague Marines. So I've got the Lord of Poxes. He is put together. He's a pretty good sculpt. He made very this guy is definitely new. He made sense building him, and he does have funny little parts, and it was fine. It was a breeze. Did it over lunch. Anywho, folks, it's been rad. I will check y'all out next time. Have a good night.